Truth is sometimes the hardest thing to reveal.
A lot of people just want to ignore it, but I will strive to do my best. Here I'll follow your lead and I'll see what I can do.
Where's Thomas? Looks around.
I'm right here.
He's right
Thomas,
there.
you have quite the leeway with the people as well. You have a reputation, as far as I understand it. A guard working in the Cora. You usually used to speaking to officials like this, I believe. Would be my guess anyway.
Officials that tend to have the same outlook on things as I had. We had our disagreements, of course, and I argued a lot, but I rarely interacted with politicians.
Few of them not as politicians. We're not trying to do politics, and there's no real politics in here. Most of them simply wish to have the truth come out. I don't believe any of them, except for Salvatore, really has Carmilla any ill will. I would simply ask that you all try to do your best.
I will.
Let's hope it's good enough.
Worst comes to worst, this will be an interesting situation to wonder about. Tempus smiles, sort of.
At least
very
I've found a
bizarre
way
way.
in which we can enter the place with our weapons.
Well, I hope it's not needed, but looks to the extra long sword. Can't
Never
be
know what Salvatore could do if he is pressed in a corner, which we might put him in. He controls the guards, after all, and I can only be certain that the guards in there will be ones loyal to him. Most likely, no one else, however, will also have their weapons, making us and the guards the only ones.
Admittedly, some don't need weapons.
Yes. Hopefully she will aid us if it comes to that.
Oh well, in that case, I guess just in case the worst case scenario happens, I'll make sure I have my thin chain shirt under this robe. It's been a while since I've worn it.
Very well then. We'll see what we can do.
Anything else before you embark?
I don't think so. Not for me, at least.
No.
Alright then. The walk to the nearby town hall takes much longer than expected. The highway is smothered with people. Several hundred have put their work on hold today, which is not a holiday, to see the trial, and the second-story building is far over capacity. You're able to push your way into the courtroom itself, where the interior expands into stone and marble opulence. There's even enough standing room on the lower and upper floors for all the peasants. If you'd like to sit together, Bjorni's entire row is clear, but you don't have to sit together. I've saved you all the trouble of loading 400 peasant tokens. Just use your imaginations to conceive 400 people standing on the lower and upper floors, crammed around this area.
Well, that's 15 XP each. I say we set the building on fire.
That's our solution to everything. Let me clear my token.
If you wanted to burn something down, you should have done Salvatore's home in the downtime.
Opportunities. The crowd has already gathered. The senators are already sitting there. Carmilla has been chained to a raised, elevated area. Her head downcast this time. She doesn't look like she's been damaged or harmed physically in any fashion. Bjorni has nothing but concerned looks for her. And the entire crowd is full of nervous energy. Are there any final words or actions before the trial begins? Alright then. I assume we're good. Ursilia brings an order to the peasantry by using an amplified ghost sound, using the power of voice, and the crowd very much is receptive to Ursilia's words. There are nothing but hushed whispers about that being Ursilia Melkor, the first citizen of Foghaven, and they almost as one fall dead silent when she calls for it. She explains that in lieu of the animosity, the known animosity between Salvatore and Carmilla, that she will be heading the proceedings. Of course, this is a special case trial, as it involves one of the senators of Foghaven, and as a result, the other senators endeavor to bring a swift and truthful conclusion to these proceedings. The people invest their faith so much in the senators to protect them and to lead them, and for such a possible crime to have happened in their own midst brings shame to the senators. And hopefully this trial will prove that the senators do in fact serve the people of Foghaven. I'll try not to put you folks to sleep too much with NPC on NPC interaction. We'll delve straight into it. The court proceedings begin hot, with the witnesses against Carmilla Cabot. In turn, 4 people step out of a secure room, and I'll go ahead and line them up, even though they'll come out one at a time. And, yes, the big black lines are there for no reason. It's just marks on the stone floor. Understand? Yes. In turn, 4 people step out of the secure room and before the Senate, where they each tell a similar tale. They all live within Carmilla's jurisdiction, and they voted for Carmilla in the last election. Days prior to the mob uprising, a member of Carmilla's household staff contacted them with a tidy sum of gold, easily a year's earnings for any of them, asking if they'd invent a story about the old man of the forest appearing and demanding answers for a murder. The witnesses don't know why the offer was made, but they nevertheless agreed to the offer. They didn't know there'd be an uprising. They didn't know anyone would die, really. The differences between the witnesses are in how each person presents their well-practiced speech. Winfrith is the first to speak, and with his impassioned words, you easily recognize him as the man who is standing in the center of the mob when you folks arrive back in Foghaven.
I'm not surprised.
Agatha is next, and she is teary-eyed, choking up repeatedly, face consumed with guilt. Samuel's presentation is wooden, a distant, disconnected testimony. Marta is last, and she's flippant about the matter, apathetic, as if it doesn't matter to her. The senators, doing their part, take turns asking the witnesses questions and openly debate with each other. Political lines are quickly drawn. Salvatore, Isaac, and Cameron appear to be on the same page. Miriani is reserved. Beridian frequently casts nervous glances between Salvatore and Leon, and Ursilia, no clue how she's leaning. Is there anything you would like to do or attempt before the proceedings continue?
Wait, so just correct note with it. How are the lines drawn?
This is our time to actually say something, right? Like, it's not like out of turn.
You could call out as like part of the crowd, like if you wanted to do something, but your time for presentation hasn't come up specifically. That is for the end of the trial. That's the slot that ended up getting cleared out for you before the senators make their judgment.
So wait, how are the lines drawn? Just so I can.
I'll move the tokens here. It seems very quick. It seems very clearly that Salvatore, Isaac, and Cameron are all on the same page by the tones of their voices and how they're guiding and directing the witnesses to answer questions. Miriani?
How does the crowd seem to be feeling about this whole thing?
It's still full of nervous energy. Like, there's a lot of gasp and murmurs, and then, like, pushing people as they all strain to hear the words of the witnesses, whose voices are not amplified. There's a bit of feedback about, like, how, you know, anybody could say anything like that, but why would anyone make up anything about that, about Carmilla Cabot, no less? based on all the good that she's done for the town since she moved in 4 years ago. So the crowd is currently in a state of basically disbelief.
Yes, I think when our time comes, I'd be good to speak first, but not like out of turn.
Okay. Miriani is reserved. As I noted, Beridian is frequently casting nervous glances between Salvatore and Leon. And Ursilia, she remains stoic.
So we don't want to speak now, then?
No, it would be speaking like roughly from what Bjorny would tell you folks, that any sort of objections that you would want to raise towards them would be best saved for your speaking time.
Alright.
The most we could do right now is rile the crowd.
Yes. You would rile the crowd.
Decided.
And if you sabotage the trial, then basically they would conduct the thing in private for the rest of the time then.
Yeah.
But just an opportunity if you folks wanted to, like, do anything or, like, roll for something or whatever.
Engage combat.
You know, if that's what you folks want to do.
Actually, here's something.
Oh, hey, Jax! And we just bomb everything. Yeah.
Assumably, Salvatore doesn't have a weapon on him, does he?
Well, you can, you're more than able to take a look. What's sort of like a skill check would, this would be like a look at Salvatore without being able to pat him down and see, based on his raised position, whether he has a weapon on him. I could see that as using your wisdom ability modifier. What background fits in with that?
Looking for suitable bulges in the clothing.
I mean, it sounds more to me like a lean over towards Thomas and ask him if Salvatore has a weapon.
And Tempus.
Kind of.
Yes.
I will say, in Leon's case, you know, he spent some time as a survivalist scout. He watched over travelers moving back and forth. He couldn't go up to them and like check if they're armed or not. If they could possibly cause trouble. So he just kind of had to like look, see, like, is that a crossbow? Is that I can't. You know, watching from a distance, trying to work out, you know, what state are these travelers in.
I will allow this, but I tell you what, we'll use this as a blanket check for anything else that might pertain to this. Roll it secretly for me.
Okay.
And anyone else who would like to attempt a vein or something else in the form of a skill check while you're sitting there, you may also make a case for it.
What was it I needed to use? Roll.
Go ahead and roll
secret.
wisdom, yes, and then roll secret.
What I would like to do is, or what I would like Thomas to do, is take a look at the guards. Do they seem like nervous and inappropriately overly armed?
Sure, you may do that. Go ahead and roll that secretly for me as well.
I would also argue that my guard background works for this because they are guards.
Yes.
Does that seem reasonable?
Yes,
Alright.
it does. Go ahead and make a wisdom-based skill check using that guard background.
Oh, that's a ridiculous idea.
All right. Is there, go ahead and say, in the case of Leon, Salvatore appears confident, and as you look over at him, he actually looks at you, and his mouth twitches upwards. He does not appear to have a weapon on him, though you admittedly can't see his legs from here. In the case of Thomas, these two guards up here at the front, and there's certainly others around here, look very much interested in your group. They do appear to be well armored for this occasion, and that could be because they're protecting the senators. But as you happen to lock eyes with the one that's directly up there, and he locks with yours, and he glares at you.
Oh, good.
With hostile intent, though he doesn't act on it.
Yet.
Anything else?
Fargus is too busy glaring at the witnesses.
Okay.
It's like, I wonder what Tempus can look at now, but,
You could look at the witnesses, you could look at the senators, you could look at the people in the room, you could
Is
look
there a
at
time bomb?
you could look at the supports.
I guess Fargus will try to see if any of them are clearly lying or been threatened to do this.
Alright.
But, yeah. I don't think he will succeed.
I don't know whether any of your, like, how do your backgrounds, like, work out for that? That'd be a wisdom-based skill check, like, have any of you been intimidated?
Of the forest, yeah.
No, go ahead and roll that secretly for me. And Carmilla is most certainly well off. She is well-to-do indeed. considering how she was handling those payments for your quests from her own personal funds, rather than from the town of Foghaven. She was paying you on her own.
So how do I type that? Do I just type roll secret or roll DM or something like that?
Let's see here. It should be /roll secret. Or roll GM, as she pointed out.
Alright.
Okay.
Gryph, you want to see the easiest way to collapse the building?
Well, yeah, there's an idea. Sort of, Tempus has a nosy around, has a look to see any good purchase that he can use the Daredevil on,
Okay.
But first, I'll wait for status before I do my
you
real
most
one.
certainly rolled it.
I can still see it though.
That is unfortunate. In that case, the roll secretly option is what would have to be used.
Yeah. Should I just re-roll it then, or?
No. We'll keep that. We'll allow you to keep that. The witnesses, and this is, certainly from your understanding, they have spent their time since being discovered within the confines of the town hall, and it is most certainly clear that they've had a lot of time together to practice their answers. And the senatorial questions that are directed at them makes it sound as if the senators have had time to ask these questions to them. So it's almost as if the senators already know this information, and the people are providing this for the benefit of the crowd.
Alright.
That being said, Samuel and the fact that he's completely fucking witted this testimony about it, there's something like... He's not on the up and up. You can't exactly identify with it. I mean, you might just underline the entire thing. It's all wrong, like, highlight it, like, circle it in a giant fucking, like, black circle.
So it's basically, all those red strings tying back to him going fucking liar.
They most certainly, none of the witnesses, with the exception of Winthrift, even look anywhere in your direction. Winthrift is the most passionate of the group, and he sounds as if, this hunter, and he is a hunter, has, some experience speaking in public. How about that? Was there something you wanted to do, Gryph?
Yep. Tempus, as he's looking around, he sees Leon having a good nosy about, and he notices Thomas having a good staring down at the guards. Tempus will actually take the time to just slowly scan over the room, just checking out the witnesses, just sort of looking to see if there's any people sitting out in the audience, witnesses. For instance, if there's any people, like around the guards, if there's people acting a bit more strange. He's specifically looking to see if there are weedy folk, much like Shade over here, people that would stand out in the crowd, dangerous people. Seeing how if the guards are pretty much just focused on them, that they're all around the room, but they're staring at these guys where they're looking to see how the witnesses in general are, if they're just complacent, sitting, or entertained. He's having an idea about that. And is it roll secret?
Yes, /roll secret.
The reason I'm going to use my Trickster of the Dice, because I had to have a gauge. Tempus regularly has to gauge the feeling of whoever he's gambling or playing with, or whoever he's chatting with, to be able to manipulate their feelings and be able to question them and craft the dialogue into something that he knows. He knows how to read people and understand them, or he has in so many times before. So I'm going to use Trickster of the Dice for that.
Okay.
Is it fair?
Yes.
Okay, so that's Wisdom?
Yes, go ahead and use that.
Alright, so that's +3 +5. That's right, isn't it? It's just Wisdom plus the background.
Yes,
level.
And your level.
And my level.
And your level, yeah.
Oh, secret. There we go.
And I have a warning pop up now. I didn't get anything.
I'll do it. I didn't see it, but roll secret. 1d20 +5 +3 +3.
I had another warning pop up, but this time I got a dice roll. The warning is actually completely blank on my screen. It's like a warning, and then it's like empty. I thought Sheep had done something there for a minute.
I have done nothing.
Okay. In that case, I will actually mention to you, and we'll even do this so that it's secretly
Okay.
converted to you, conveyed to you folks. So everyone just think amongst yourselves for like 30.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Did anyone else's Grimith just cut out suddenly?
Yeah, because it's doomed.
I should have paused himself.
Yes, that way you didn't hear my typing. I will now point to the section, Gryph.
Alright.
Okay.
Give me a second.
In addition...
Aha.
Yes, I said it over Skype. In addition, I will say that the guards do seem very much interested in your group. Not all of them, though. There is a number of guards standing on the outskirts. It's primarily this guard and this guard over here, who is actually looking over at your group.
Alright. Interesting. There will be a time that Tempus will be staring, specifically a little bit longer than usual over here, before he decides to just, continue roaming the room. But he'll return here again, and then return back up.
Yep. I will note that it's very difficult to make out any details in all of the masses of people, but you are at least able to glimpse, enough of, like little bits of faces and stuff to catch that much.
Okay. Yeah, that will be why he'll return the glare again in a sort of a vague attempt to try and get a bit more detail.
Okay.
Not the glare, the sort of glance over in the direction.
Alright. With that case, then, I'll go ahead and move on. The witnesses will fade back out into this back room area here. And at this point, Carmilla's advocate fills the void after Marta and the rest of the witnesses depart, as they do one at a time. There's a clear discrepancy, he argues. He reminds the senators that the witnesses could not name the servant who offered them the job. And I'm getting another warning now. Okay, I don't know what the fuck these warning messages are for.
I think that might have been me. I'll just test something, right? I'm just going to hit G and enter and see what happens, okay?
Now, every time you press enter, it seems like I'm getting, warnings, I'm sure. You're just, every time you type, you're ruining everything.
Right, let's just see.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm not allowed to type. So I'll log off and come back in.
I'm getting them for everyone now. Okay, I'm just gonna stop and I'm going to restart the server.